Two cousins from Essex who were extradited to Cyprus to serve a jail sentence are back behind bars in Britain. Michael Binnington and Luke Atkinson, both from Bitten, were given 3-year sentences for the manslaughter of the teenage moped rider Christos Papyrus in Cyprus in 2006. They were extradited last December, but both have now returned to the UK to serve their sentences at a Category C jail in Suffolk.
Police in Norwich are searching for the driver of a van who knocked down a pedestrian. Officers were called to Aylsham Road just after midday. A van had mounted the pavement and collided with one of two men. The victim was taken to hospital with injuries to his head and body. The driver of a silver Citroën Berlingo van was last seen heading towards the city centre. Police are now appealing for witnesses.
It's unusual for vehicles to mount the pavement, but it's too early for me to say at the moment as to the intent of the driver, which is why I'm keen for that individual to come forward as soon as possible and give us an account as to what happened. But in the meantime, obviously, we have crime scene investigators and our traffic department taking a look at it, so they can give me an interpretation of what they find.
Bus passengers across North Essex face disruption next week as drivers threaten a day of strike action. First buses say drivers at depots including Colchester, Clacton, Chelmsford and Harwich will stage a one-day walkout on Monday. It's over terms and conditions following a pay dispute at the end of last year. First, are warning passengers to make alternative arrangements. The Unite union says talks are still ongoing.
Now, one of our region's best-known charity appeals is celebrating reaching the £1 million mark.
The Bryan Gunn appeal was set up 17 years ago in memory of the former Norwich City footballer's daughter, who died of leukaemia. Kate Prout reports.
The walls of the Bryan Gunn appeal headquarters speak for themselves. 17 years of silliness and sporting prowess tinged with sadness.
So well done to everybody. Thank you.
And today, a thank you to those who've helped the Gunns reach £1 million.
It's a tremendous testimony to our daughter Francesca that her name lives on, and people continue to donate money to the Bryan Gunn appeal, and we hope that what we've done is help other people and children especially who have gone through the trauma of finding out about leukaemia and cancer, and the different initiatives we put in place will have hopefully helped them over the time as well.
Brian and Susan Gunn lost their 2-year-old daughter Francesca at the height of his Norwich City football career in 1992. Since then, he's been their manager and Sheriff of Norwich, but has always continued to fundraise.
He is an amazing man. He does 20 things in a day, and I think Brian is the multitasker in the family, and he tends to juggle so many different hats and roles and events. He's just a natural people person.
Today was also a chance to announce a new project for the charity, a DVD for parents of children with cancer or leukaemia to help them understand the illness and its treatment.
Good luck. Thank you.
So, a toast to the first £1 million. Now efforts start on the second. Kate Prout, Anglia News.
I'm sure there is it very quickly as well. Now, Cheryl Cox from Colchester in Essex has always enjoyed doing the odd puzzle, but now she's facing a task which requires an awful lot of patience.
She's taken on the role of jigsaw checker for the NSPCC, and during the coming months will be making up every jigsaw donated to the charity to make sure no pieces are missing. Victoria Webb reports.
As she pours another jigsaw out onto her desk, Cheryl's hoping she'll be able to complete it. Working her way through the piles of second-hand boxes, she's yet to discover which ones have pieces missing. So far, she's been lucky.
The 2,000 piece takes a little bit of time to complete, and I just completed it, or getting to the end of the puzzle, and the final piece was actually missing, so I had to have a good hunt round, and I actually found it on the floor, so it was quite a relief when I found it.
Cheryl's giving up hours of her free time to make sure the new owners of these jigsaws aren't disappointed when they get them home. The puzzles are due to be sold at the NSPCC's annual book fair in the town later this year. While most of the hard work is done in the evenings, Cheryl's also bringing some into work, and her colleagues are happy to help.
If they get the opportunity, they'll come through and put the odd piece in its place and stop what they're doing, but they've got other things to do as well.
The book fair has gained quite a reputation over its 20 years, raising more than £150,000 for the NSPCC. By the time it takes place in October, Cheryl expects to have made at least 100 puzzles and isn't daunted by the boxes that keep arriving. But I think it's fair to say a jigsaw puzzle won't be on her Christmas list this year. Victoria Webb, Anglia News, Colchester.
Or forevermore. That would be my worst job in the world.
Certainly put your spaghetti, wouldn't it? Now, he was an icon of the 60s music scene. Legendary rock guitarist Jimi Hendrix played to sell-out crowds in arenas across the world, including, it seems, Ipswich. Footage of Hendrix playing the town's Gaumont in 1967 has now emerged on YouTube. In front of a sell-out crowd, the pictures show him playing his classic track Purple Haze and his version of Wild Thing there. Now, it's thought the film was actually shot for a French documentary, which, in the end, we're told, was never actually shown. Now, insect bites are something many of us have to put up with at this time of the year. They can certainly be uncomfortable.
But one woman from Cambridgeshire had a trip to hospital after she was bitten by a particularly nasty type of fly. Here's Lauren Carter.
She doesn't often get the chance to put her feet up. But for the past few weeks, Wendy Johnson hasn't had much choice. The 50-year-old from Waterbeach was left barely able to walk because of an insect bite. These are some of the pictures she took of her left foot just after she'd been bitten at the beginning of July. The reaction to the bite caused her foot to swell up and blister and meant she needed treatment at Addenbrooke's Hospital.
It's unreal. The redness and blisters I had, people thought I'd been a burns patient. You know, I was in for getting a burns treatment, basically, and I just can't believe the pain such a tiny little thing has given me. It was like a million nettle stings plus burning, way off the scale pain.
Wendy's bite is thought to have been caused by a Blandford fly. The tiny insects are well established in our region. Last month, it was reported the golfer Ian Poulter from Buckinghamshire received a particularly nasty bite, and when it got infected, he was forced to pull out of the French Open. Now, experts are warning these troublesome bloodsuckers are on the rise. And as a result, more people are being bitten.
Well, in east of England it's very difficult to quantify because a lot of people don't see medical help, but GPs are reporting more people attending the surgeries. It's difficult to put in numbers, but I would suggest that normally they see tens of people through the summer with it, and they may well in some surgeries have seen hundreds.
The Blandford fly got its name because it's found in large numbers in streams around the village of Blandford in Dorset. It's also found in Oxfordshire and the Anglia region. It can grow to between 2 and 3 millimetres and feeds on blood, often preferring that of humans to animals. When the fly bites, it's the saliva which causes severe pain and irritation. The evidence suggests there's been an increase in the number of Blandford flies, and there's a good reason why we've started seeing more of them in our towns and cities.
Blandford flies are only found in places where there's rapidly flowing water. Experts say that's why we're starting to see more of them in our urban areas. It's all thanks to fountains in our town centres, even water features in our gardens.
Wendy is now starting to recover from her bite and has finally been able to get back to the great outdoors. Only this time, she's making sure her feet and legs stay well and truly covered up. Lauren Carter, Anglia News, Waterbeach in Cambridgeshire.
Oh dear, I don't blame her. I haven't had a couple of horsefly bites. They didn't look anything like that.
Oh, they're horrible though as well, aren't they?
Yeah, you've had a few lately, haven't you?
26 on holiday, 26 mosquito bites. I counted them.
Such a show off. You can get one better, don't you? Right, now.